Alright, so boom guys, just like my 5 things rappers do that I can't stand, in that video I was ranting about the ridiculous things that the people who make rap music tend to do. And now I'm going to flip it. In this video I'm going to rant about the people who listen to the music and talk about the nonsense y'all be doing. But in regards to listening to rap music, it would be great if you guys listen to this instrumental made by 15-year-old producer Forever Lit.
Liddy, this beat's crazy.
Forever Lit is willing to provide beats for any rapper that's willing to work with him. So if you're interested, contact him on his Instagram, Twitter, and SoundCloud. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
See, I got money, I got paper, I hustle's hard in the new Chuck Taylors.
Ever notice that pretty much the only people that think an irrelevant rapper is still hot are their biggest fans? Like, everyone else universally agrees that this person has fallen off and is irrelevant now. But it's that one person that says stuff like, oh, they never fell off, y'all just don't listen to their music, they still out here dropping stuff. Y'all need to realize that just because you still listen to an artist religiously doesn't mean that they're still relevant at all. If the general public does not care about that rapper anymore, then you need to accept that they aren't as famous as you want them to be. Now, don't get me wrong, the concept of relevancy can be very flawed. Some people act like just because a person isn't on the radio every single month, then they're just a nobody. And that's not true, because your average person doesn't pay attention to a lot of rappers anyway. But I personally feel like there's 2 ways to be irrelevant. You either don't release much music at all, or you still release lots of music, yet most people don't care. Now let's look at somebody like Dej Loaf. So most of you guys have seen my 5 SXL freshmen that immediately fell off video. So I included Dej Loaf on that list, and I said how I live in Detroit, Michigan, and even out here people don't really say anything about Dej Loaf. And I remember this one dude commenting like, nigga, what are you talking about? Dej Loaf still got people all over the country that rock with her. You probably not even really from Detroit. You probably live in the suburbs next to Detroit and you're just trying to sound hood. So let me show y'all this shit. On SXL's Instagram page, whenever it's a rapper's birthday, they'll post a picture saying happy birthday and asking people what's their favorite song from that rapper, or what's that rapper's best project or most underrated song. When they did this on Dej Loaf's birthday, people were so damn lost on what to say. You had people saying her most popular songs like Try Me and No Fear were underrated. Some people were saying, damn, I didn't even know she had more than one song. And other people were like, well, apparently all her songs are underrated because I've never heard of her. So yeah, if anyone thinks Dej Loaf is still relevant, then you seriously need to get out the house more, because nobody listens to her. And trust me, Dej Loaf is just one of many examples that I can give. I know that when you love an artist, you want them to be mainstream, you want them to be big and stuff, but a lot of the times that's not the case. People have to realize that for some of the rappers you listen to, if you listen to their whole discography, like every album, every mixtape, every song they have, then you're in the strong minority. It's probably only you and 4 of the people that care about this rapper this much.
See, I got money, I got paper, I hustle's hard in the new Chuck Taylors.
I'm someone where I don't have an opinion on something if I feel like I don't know enough about it. This goes for everything. If you ask me my opinion on a certain artist and I don't really listen to that artist, then I will say I don't really have an opinion because I haven't heard a lot of their music. This goes for mixtapes and albums as well. You will never hear me talk about what's the best song, worst song, or just say something about an album in general if I've never heard it before. I truthfully don't see why more people aren't like this, but I come across people like this all the time. People are just so quick to jump up and give an opinion on anything with little information on that topic. This is why I feel like a lot of people are close-minded as well, because they love to jump on hate bandwagons and call a rapper or an album bad, but they didn't even listen to it. They just assume that they're trash because everyone else is saying it. So just a little PSA to everyone who does this, I have 3 things to say. 1, do not call an artist trash if you barely listen to their music. I'm not saying you have to listen to a rapper's entire discography, and I understand that not everyone is going to pique your interest. Some artists you're really only going to hear about 5 songs or so and be like, I'm not really interested. I get that completely. But just think about it. If you tell someone that a rapper is garbage and then in the same breath you say, well, I mean, I only heard about 3 or 4 songs from him, I ain't listened to that much, then that just sounds like you're judging them too harshly. Number 2, do not call a song trash if you never actually heard it or paid attention to the lyrics. The second part of that sentence is the main thing I'm getting at. People really don't pay attention to lyrics nowadays because all they care about is the sound of the song. If your song sounds fire, people really don't care about the actual words coming out of your mouth. There are a lot of songs where the lyrics are really the strongest part of the track, so if you're just flat out ignoring them, you're going to miss out on some good shit. So do yourselves a favor. If there's a song you heard before that you never really paid attention to the lyrics, Go back and focus on the lyrics this time and see if your opinion on the song changes. And lastly, do not call a mixtape or album trash if you never heard the entire thing. An album will be 15 tracks long. People will listen to about 4 of them and then not like those 4 songs and just call the entire album garbage. In my honest opinion, if you have not actually sat down and paid attention to an album, then I'm gonna take everything you say with a grain of salt. Make sure you listen to a project before you give your opinion on the entire thing. I don't mean playing it in the car while you driving to work, because that doesn't count. That's just hearing the album, you're not listening to it. I mean, sit your ass down somewhere and listen to it and focus on what the rapper is saying.
See, I got money, I got paper. I hustle's hard and the new Chuck Taylors.
This mostly goes to older people talking crap about younger hip-hop artists and listeners. A lot of older people automatically assume that if a person is 16 years old or younger, that they don't know anything about hip-hop or the culture. Now, I understand why they think this, because a lot of the times younger people seriously be on some bullshit. Like what I mentioned in the last entry about calling something trash without listening to it, jumping on hate bandwagons. It's mostly younger people that do that. But there are times where people are ages for the stupidest reasons. Here's an example. You guys know how people will hear about a song from a video game and then be in the comment section of that song saying things like I came here from Grand Theft Auto or something like that. I saw these type of comments while I was listening to Rosa Parks by Outkast. The song was on the NBA 2K17 soundtrack, so some people never heard of that song until they played that game. Now, I don't have a problem with that, but I saw a nigga saying stuff like, man, these little niggas only know about this song because of a dang basketball game. Real Outkast fans been knew about this song. I hate when people say stuff like this. Not every person in the damn universe knows who Outkast is. Why are y'all getting upset that more people are finding out about the song? If anything, y'all should be happy that the song is getting more exposure because it was in the video game. That's a good thing, not a bad thing. There are many other examples I can give for this entry, but that's my overall point with this. People love to just disregard someone's opinion because of their age. Like, stop doing that. Because there are some younger people that actually study a lot of hip hop and they know what they're talking about. And if they don't know anything, take some time to teach them about the culture instead of complaining that they don't know it. And secondly, it doesn't matter how big an artist is. Not everybody has heard every song by that person. Outkast, Tupac, Nas, Biggie, the list goes on and on. If you come across a younger person who says they never heard Dear Mama by Tupac, they never heard 10 Crack Commandments by Biggie Smalls, like, don't talk shit to that person. Hey, what? You never heard 10 Crack Commandments by Biggie? Man, what y'all younger people be listening to nowadays? Cause you sound dumb as hell.
See, I got money, I got paper. I hustle's hard and the new Chuck Taylors.
This can definitely go without being said, but a lot of people can't accept others' opinions. Simple. I can understand if you just completely disagree with what someone says, but people be personally insulting someone else just because they have an opinion they don't agree with. I'm sure you guys have seen many examples of this. So you can agree with me when I say, what is wrong with some people? Why do people feel the need to just insult someone else because they don't like something you do like? As always, let me show y'all an example. It's on the same video of mine that I mentioned before. In that video, I included Cap G in there, right? It's some nigga named DJ Wadsworth. Please don't even get me started on this name, first of all. But he said, I'm from Atlanta. Y'all niggas sleep on Cap G, but y'all listen to Lil Uzi Vert and Migos? Get the fuck out of here. So I want y'all to look at this nonsense he said next. I simply asked him, if someone likes Lil Uzi Vert but not Cap G, then what's the problem? Mr. Wadsworth dorky ass gonna say, what kind of dumbass question is that? First of all. Second of all, nigga, if you rockin' with Lil Uzi Vert, you a hoe ass nigga in the first place. And the difference, dumbass nigga, is Cap G is way fucking better. Get your stupid ass off my comments. Now, when I first saw this reply, I was like, bro, if you don't get your old ass away from me, like, don't you have a mortgage or some child support you can be paying? But then I didn't even waste my time because of how ridiculous his response was. Like, first off, I just asked him a simple question and he sounded so devastated with his response. I didn't say I listen to Uzi over Cap G. I just asked him if someone does listen to Uzi over Cap G, then what's the problem? Secondly, this nigga commented on my video and gonna say, get off my comments. Like, boy, please. Lastly, this dude is the only person in the galaxy that thinks Cap G is better than Lil Uzi. Cap G himself doesn't even think he's better than Lil Uzi. But whatever. If you're someone like Mr. Wadsworth over here and you just start talking crap because someone doesn't share the same opinion you do, then you need to leave the hip hop community because we don't need negative people like y'all.
See, I got money, I got paper. I hustle's hard and the new Chuck Taylors.
Why is it that if you tell someone you don't think a particular line or a song is good, the very first thing out their mouth is, oh, that line wasn't bad, you just didn't get it? Seriously, why is this some people's go-to comeback? You people do realize that a person can understand what something means and still think it's trash, right? The people who use this as a comeback are those people that don't understand that a line can make sense and still be whack. To a lot of people, as long as a line is a metaphor or double entendre, it's automatically not bad because at least it made sense. So the number one biggest example where this happens to me, and this has been happening to me for years, Every single time I say this line is whack, I get bombarded with people saying, I don't understand the genius behind it. And it's Eminem from Love the Way You Lie when he said, now you get to watch her leave out the window, guess that's why they call it window pane. Now this is without question one of the weakest and corniest lines Eminem has ever said. And yet there are so many people who think this line was just magnificent. The people who love this line so much don't see the corniness behind it. They just understand the meaning and they think it's incredible.
Watch her leave out the window. That's why they call it window pane. Like a window pane, but it's a window pane. Clever.
I was watching Watch Mojo's Top 10 Stupidest Lyrics Part 2 video, and this line was in there as an honorable mention. There were so many people in the comments defending this line and saying Watch Mojo put it in the video because they don't understand Eminem's complex lyricism. Like, look at these comments. Okay, I saw Eminem on here as an honorable mention, so let me break it down. It's a play on words. He said the phrase window pane, but he metaphorically said window pane. Like watching someone you love leave you, it causes pain. So window pane, it makes sense. And there were hundreds of people that were saying this. This line is not that deep. It's fairly simple to understand. Adding Eminem's part about windows was dumb. That line was freaking genius. Like, okay, dude. Like, I don't think there's a single person that doesn't understand what Eminem meant. Everyone gets the line. It was just corny wordplay. There were some people who, like me, they got the line, but they just still think it was a bad pun. Like these people here. I can go on all day about this, but I just wanted to end it with this comment from this person because this is my overall point here. Just because something is a metaphor doesn't mean it's not a stupid line, period. And I wish more people would understand that. A line can make sense and still be stupid. And lastly, stop assuming that if someone calls a line bad, it's because they didn't get it. Because whether you realize this or not, it's possible to know what something means and still think it's bad.
Outro, outro, outro.